Hi there, I'm Megan and I go by Solar Glow Meditations. Tonight we're going to have a distance Reiki session where I have pulled a spread of tarot cards out in front of me and picked some crystals to go along with them to help guide our reading tonight. Before we get started, I do need your consent to work on your energy, so either out loud in the comments in your head, wherever you feel most comfortable, just consent to receive this energy healing. I think that's it. Before we get started, if you guys do have requests or feedback, please do let me know in the comments. So thank you guys for being here. I am just going to give you guys a brief overview of what this session is going to be about. And I first must say that I pulled all of the tarot cards in reverse, which has never happened to me before. So there's a couple indications of what can be happening. You might be going through a period of transition or something like that. It could be very much that the deck is just upside down, but I don't think so. That doesn't usually happen for me. So we're going to go with the first, in that you're probably going through a period of transition. The challenge with this is that your heart is going to want to kind of shut itself off and kind of go inside of itself, when really this isn't the time to kind of close yourself off. It's really the time to open up and be present and be open to what the world has around you, and just love people for how they are, even if it's not what you necessarily expect. So yeah, with that, let's get into the Reiki. So I'm going to start with a piece of selenite, always one of my favorites to start with. It is a great cleanser. It's going to help us ground out some of this energy. So part of this reading, or I guess the first card out of this reading, is the Nine of Cups in reverse. So you might have some like dissatisfaction or maybe smugness going on with your situation right now, whatever it might be. But even if you feel like you've reached some sort of victory, it's kind of shallow because you don't have a lot of joy out of this situation. And being right but not being happy about it doesn't do anybody any good, primarily yourself. So we're going to take this smugness, this indulgence, this dissatisfaction out of your aura, out of your chakras. Send it back down to the earth. The good news is that all of your chakras seem to be moving quite nicely. I can tell there's a little bit of tenderness, especially just below your heart and your lower chakras. So as we're working through this, I want you to take a big deep breath in. Hold it at the top just for a moment and let it out. Just take stock of your body. Is there something you could do to get yourself ever so slightly more comfortable? Maybe it's making sure you're sitting evenly on your hips. Maybe your shoulder is off balance. Just bring yourself back to balance. Finding that comfiest, coziest position. Maybe your jaw is clenched, so unclench that jaw of yours. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. Just melt into wherever you are, whether it's sitting in a chair, lying down in your bed. Just kind of let yourself fall into this place. Trust that the furniture will hold you, the ground will hold you. It's not going anywhere, I promise. Spirit is sending me this vision of like somebody sitting down on the bed a little bit too hard and just having like furniture fall out from under them. And so I think there's this like desire to have like kind of this playful, joyful lightheartedness to the session to raise your vibration up, bring your spirit up, find that real joy. You can trust that the furniture is not going to fall out from under you, but if it does, find it funny, because it is. It's unexpected. It happens, life happens, and it's gonna be okay. But also, don't be hurt or anything. We want you to be safe. Good. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next crystal. So the next crystal is a piece of lepidolite. It is a fantastic thing for especially depression. It has a little tiny bit of lithium that rubs off on your hands, not enough to hurt anything, but it is great for raising your vibration and your happiness. It's also this really nice purple color, which is one of my favorites. Purple is in fact my favorite color. So the next card that we're working with is the Five of Swords in reverse. So past resentment, remorse, regret, failure. Have a desire to forgive, desire to reconcile. So even if you have seemingly won whatever situation that you're in, doesn't mean taking your smugness and shoving it in this person's face or this entity's face, whatever it is that you're working with, whoever, whatever the situation. It's better to be the bigger person and show kindness and show joy and be open. Keep that heart of yours open. Just keep being your sunny self and being kind to the world, even when it's wronged you. Really feel your aura starting to expand around itself. It's really growing out and wide and opening up and shining brightly. You should be confident and be happy in yourself and shine brightly just as you are, but don't do it in a way that's arrogant or egotistical, or do it in a way that brings everybody along with you and makes them feel good too. Gosh, this is the coolest energy. It just wants to expand. It's like pizza dough, and it starts in that little ball, and then you kind of keep growing it bigger and bigger, and thins out a little bit as you grow it, but it grows to be just the perfect size, perfect amount of coverage. It's not blocking the light from coming in, although you probably don't want your pizza dough to be see-through so your toppings don't fall off the dough, but I think you get what I mean with your aura. It just feels really good. Okay, we're gonna stop there because we don't want to expand too far. Sure, you keep breathing. Okay, the next crystal we're gonna work with is Cherwhite. I'm not sure how you say it. Another purple stone. we're going from like this purple loving energy, and then we're going to transition over to the greens. So the purples, using your intuition, your third eye, your upper chakras, to transition some of that positive energy, positive thinking down to your heart to keep your heart open. But we're going to fill up this positive energy in your upper chakras, bringing it down from the cosmos. So this next card is the Priestess in reverse, the High Priestess. Okay, disconnected from intuition. That is why we are bringing all this energy into your third eye, your crown chakra, your throat chakra. You really want to become withdrawn and silent and selfish and shallow, but we don't want to do that. We want to be positive and open to the world and open to life. And let the world happen as it does. Trust your higher self, trust your intuition. Just want you to sit and meditate with this for just a minute. Notice if there's thoughts coming up in your head. It's relatively empty. What experience are you having in this moment? Are your fight or flight instincts kicking in? If so, why is that? What are you afraid of in this moment? Okay, we're going to move on to the next crystal. So the next crystal is ruby zoite. It's got both this nice purple and green color. It's going to be a nice transition as we take all these intuitive thoughts, energy, clarity, and move it down to your heart chakra to bring your heart chakra into balance and to start to keep it open. So this next card is the Eight of Swords in reverse. Might be some guilt or negativity or self-limiting beliefs that you need to let go of. You want to really stay open to new perspectives and really work on accepting yourself just as you are. You're wonderful. You're perfect. And I hear all these doubt thoughts coming up as I say you're perfect, and you're going, no, no, no. To believe it because it's true. I still hear this kind of inner self critic going, you are in fact perfect. And you might not believe that because you have made mistakes or taken actions that were perhaps less than optimal. But that's okay because you learned from that. You found out new information. You did something. And that's perfect. We're all here to learn, we're all here to grow. We're all on a path of journeying through life. And making mistakes doesn't make you imperfect. Everybody makes mistakes, and that's part of perfection. And I know that feels like counterintuitive. I hear those critics going over there too. Just need to accept what is. Just be open. Because you really, really are perfect. I promise. There you go. Just let that feeling grow. Let that percolate through your body. There's nothing to be afraid of. Your chair, if it hasn't broken at this point, it's not going to. So trust that your chair or your floor or your ground is holding you perfectly. If you need to fall asleep, that's okay too. Trust what your body is telling you in terms of what it needs as far as like sleep, water. I still need you to trust your chair is okay. I promise it is. And I know I've been talking about a chair throughout this session or whatever you're sitting on, but this is really a metaphor for whatever your situation is. Maybe it's a relationship you're not quite sure about. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's where you're living. Maybe it's something happening in your life. I promise it's okay. It's gonna be okay. Okay, the last card, or the last crystal I'll be using is this piece of malachite. It's very dense and heavy and green, but it's going to be great for your heart chakra. We're going to work on some self-love. This last card is the Ace of Cups in reverse. It's really working on your self-love, your intuition. There might be some blocked creativity or emotional loss going on, but that's okay. We want your heart to stay open even through that. I want you to feel what you want to feel. Feel what comes up for you as it does. Maybe you unexpectedly connect with a stranger on the street over something as silly as the bird that's eating the french fry or something like that. Perhaps that becomes this very moving moment. Be open to the universe sending you messages. Be present where you're at. You're gonna be okay. You are. I can just tell. I can understand, intuit these things, and I want you to trust your own intuition when it tells you it's gonna be okay. Listen to that, because it's usually right. But I want to thank you for taking the time to be with me for this session. I'm kind of at a loss for words for the end of this session, which is probably the message that needs to be shared, is nothing. I hope you feel better. I hope your heart stays open to the world and to life and through whatever situation you're going through right now. But thank you for taking the time to be with me tonight. Namaste.